Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow on Enterprise TV, where we discuss everything and anything. I'm your host, David, and today we will be discussing self doubt. Now, self doubt is a feeling of uncertainty or lack of confidence in oneself. It's a state of mind that makes you feel you are not good enough or that leaves you questioning your own ability or strength. There is a whole lot psychiatrists have to say about this, and today we just want to ask, is this something we can all relate with? Now, with me today to discuss this is Iniolua. It's lovely to have you on the show.
My pleasure.
And my baby girl Light. Nice to have you again. And the one and only barrister Evan Tufeli. It's wonderful to have you on the
Thank
show.
you, it's my pleasure.
Now, to put the question out there, with Ini going first, is this something you can relate with? Self doubt.
Okay, yeah. Yes. My answer is yes. It is something that has happened.
So, can you give us scenario? I need a lot of scenarios from you. Relationship, music, as a musician, so many things. So I'm listening.
Okay, as an artist, self-doubt. You know, my recent song, the last song I recorded is a major. What brought about the song was the fact that this self-doubt of a thing. Okay, let me start with the title, which is competition.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel in the market, at the point people compliment you and tell you things about your music. Oh, you sound good, you sound amazing. But then it has always been coming from people around you, and you are not out there in the world for the world to see that okay, this is this way. And at the point, you don't just feel anything when people compliment you. Oh, I love your voice. What's timing? You get that kind of thing, but then that self-doubt sets in at that moment, and you feel like, will I ever blow?
Yeah, I see where you go with it. So, like, self doubt.
Yes.
And a single girl, do you still have self doubt?
Yes. It is something that has one point or one way or the other happened to me, and I've felt in the past, and even till now, one way or the other, I'm still having that challenges in some area and aspect of my life. That okay, I have visions, I have aims, I have objectives, and I have goals, and it's always looking so big or wide and too much for me to believe if I can actually actualize this thing. So even presently, I still have it. So
Like I said, it's very easy. One day I had to give a presentation, and I've studied for this for 2 months straight. I stood at the back and I was shaking in my bones. It was not easy. But when I got up there, God cleared all my doubts. And I did well.
hallelujah.
I feel I could do better, but I did well. So, Pastor Evans, throw more light on this for us.
Yeah, I think self-doubt is a natural propensity. It is good for people who you look up to. It's good for you to sometimes listen to them when they talk about their fears. Do you know that as ruthless as Mike Tyson was, you know, he said it's 5 punches. When he gives you in the stomach, you lose your cool. He gives you 3 in the face. He returns 1 uppercut, and that's the end. For everybody. For everybody. You understand? And he did that for 7 straight years. 2 punches at the tummy. He gives you 1 in the face. He returns 3 again. That's the end. Everybody. Now, he fought someone. I can't remember the name, but it was interviewed. He was interviewed there when he fought someone. After the 2 in the tummy, 3 in the face, returned the uppercut, the guy blocked everything. The 5, none got him.
Wow.
So he started doubting himself.
Oh, in the middle of the ring.
Yes, in the middle of the ring. You understand? So when people like Tyson, do you know that even as ruthless as Hitler was, in one of his interviews, it was even fear. He wanted to conquer the world through fear. You understand? We're talking about self-doubt. People think that confidence is is self-built or is automated, or that some people are born with special skills, or nobody is born with confidence. You understand? The first spoon that you're able to take into your mouth came as a result of your development. Before you got that strong and developed that capacity, you had to deal with other fears. The day you were born is not the day you walked. The day you walked was not the day you started running. Okay? The day you started learning how to drive was not the day you entered the express.
At all.
You understand? So there are fears, it's a process. So everyone, because I'm going to make some generalization here, everyone have self-doubt. Especially when you are embarking on what you have not done before, or you have embarked on what you knew how to do best, and you have applied everything you have to apply. Everything you have to apply, you have applied, and you've not gotten breakthrough. We're told about the story of Michael Faraday when he invented electricity light. He did everything he ought to have done, put everything together. Fire didn't come out. See what at this stage in science, if you put all this things together, the next thing you will see fire. Then say he wants to go and bring fire, to light fire physically on it. And he went away, and before he came back, the fire was gone. So at that point, he doubted himself about his capacity and everything he could have done. So it's human nature. You understand? If you look at the religious rite, Jesus was supposed to go to the cross at some point for the remission of the sins of man. He prayed a prayer that the thing should not happen. He started doubting whether this sin is worth it or whether this is really the assignment. You understand? So if you pick a figure like Jesus and then you match it with some other figure, you begin to see that the thing is, even his cousin that told people, here is the Lamb of God. He pointed to him, the Lamb of God. He's the one that will take away the sins of the world. And he said, I baptize you with water. But he's here, he's going to baptize you with Holy Ghost and fire. Do you know that when John the Baptist was incarcerated, he sent his disciple to go and ask whether that was really Jesus. And he said, go back and tell him the blind see, the lame walk. So I've given you case studies. In law, we call it judicial precedents. Case laws. For you to believe that this thing they call self-doubt applies to everyone. No matter how anointed, no matter how carnal, no matter how fitted or whatever it is, it applies to everybody. But people must learn how to manage it with confidence and breakthrough.
Now that we've established that it's a general thing for everyone, what could be the best way to overcome it?
I think the best way is to me, we cannot be good at everything. I think you just pick your strength and build on it. What you know how to do best, make sure you know how to do it very, very well, in and out. Yeah. So to some reasonable extent, you'd have confidence in yourself in that area and that aspect of your life. And it can actually like take you far. You cannot be jack of all trades, master of none. Do you get it? So you build your strength on the one you know you are capable of doing very well. That you have the ability is there for you to do. So
you know, before you recorded your first song, did you ever feel like, was it ever going to be good enough? Would I myself even like what I'm about to do? Do you ever feel that way?
Yes, I was actually curious. I was like, how will I sound? Normally I do covers. I just do normal vocal covers and all with my MP, and it sounds good. But that curiosity was there. That how will people? Cause I've seen people sing like normally, but when they get to the studio, this thing is not your thing, no.
Music is not your line.
So getting to the studio, I was, like I said, I was very, very curious. And when I started singing, I was shaking. It was, of course, it was in a closed room with my producer. But then it was like I was in front of 1,000 and I was just shaking. He just told me, calm down. Shebi, you don't need to do competition before. Like, you don't, because I normally do all these oratory contests. Do you get? But having that experience for the very first time, I was actually shaking. But then when the music came out, when the song came out, rather, it sounded nice. And I learned to improve on it. Yeah.
Barrister, how was your first court case?
Don't even go there. I don't know why you are going to that side. My first court case, I was fresh from the law school. I was sent to the Federal High Court.
First court case?
Yes. My boss just threw the file to me. Asked me to go and move. It was a preliminary objection, a motion. Asked me to go and move it that it's not contentious. I should just go tell my lord that before this court is a motion on notice dated, and I should go ahead and say that they did not serve reaction notice. AMCON did not serve reaction notice to us before they went to court. My client before they went to court. Just, the way he said it, just do. He was going to Abuja. Just say take the file, go. Transport, give him transport, sign up that. Tomorrow morning be in court, move it.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, and then that's
like that.
Morning. Yes, I took the file, I didn't sleep. I looked at the file, there's nothing I don't read in that thing. Even the cases, the other documents, including receipt that they used to file the case. Because I don't know where the questions will come from. And guess what? I appeared before Richard Dumogobia. My first case. So when I appeared and announced my appearance, the other side announced there were two, and I'm alone. The fear kicked in immediately. So when I announced my appearance, they announced the appearance, now for me to lead, because I'm the one that have emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the court I have emotion. The court now said, when was the motion filed? I had to search, mention the date. She now said I should give her a heads up of the motion before I move it. Ha! They didn't teach us how in law school. I said pardon. I said pardon because she wanted me to explain what the motion was about before I move. Ordinarily, once you settle the court, you have a motion, the court will say go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know whether it's something that we take, well, it was close to vacation. She wants to know whether it's something she can take and deliver ruling within time.
Okay.
You understand? So I started explaining, and my explanation was not together. She will not ask me, you don't know the fact of your case?
Mm-hmm.
I said, my lord, I'm on it. Now, so when were you called? When were you called to the but my lord, last week. Last week. So she now gave me time. Okay. She now said, okay, I should read the prayers out to her. So when I read the prayers, she now said, okay, fine, I can move it. That's how I was able to move it. Now today it looks like child's play to me because I don't even need to bother myself about all that today. It's about, you ask a question, how can you overcome it?
Yes, sir.
You understand? I don't think we should focus on how to overcome it. We should focus on how to improve ourselves. By so doing, we have overcome those things.
Yes, exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now you talk about the music. I know how studio is. I've recorded music with people because I'm also an artist. I'm a poet.
Okay.
Yes, you don't know that poetry is
Performance
poet. So when you start to think about the crowd, when you are doing your recording, you are getting it wrong. Just like radio. Radio, you speak to one person. Don't think about the people in their houses or the many people who listen to your song and be singing after you and all that. Don't think about them. Do it as if you are doing it to one person. Because that's what recording is really. Because in so doing, every other person who will hear it will receive it to themselves as personal. You understand? So that's what you need to do. You will overcome it by improving your craft. A music that will sell or a performance thing that will sell advertises itself. Good music is good music anywhere. Whether in Nigeria, whether in abroad, whatever. Those guys that sang that, what that one they used to shake body. Those South African guys.
Amapiano.
Is that Amapiano?
Yeah.
What is that? Who, before now, which song we don't know any of that. Before they call Burna Boy to come and do the remix where it's pointing. I don't know why. I don't know why when South Africa sing, they will bring Burna Boy. The other one to Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
They brought him to also come and remix Transport. And the song died immediately. I'm just telling you. See, what I will say, you can't say it.
Of course.
You know it.
I can't go.
You cannot say it.
I know, I can't.
I go tell it how I feel about it.
Okay.
So that's just by the wayside. But I'm saying that it was a good, those songs were good. Jerusalem, the Amapiano one, that other one, Shake Their Body and all that. Look at the video songs. Look at the passion put in. Okay, look at the way he. So that's for those that are doing music. Every other area, anything you are good at, you are watching us, whatever it is, you are good at. Improve on that craft. Go and read more about it. If it's about your voice, go and work on your voice, sharpen your voice. Then eviscerate yourself from the banalities of your, what do you call it, interferences.
Okay.
When you are speaking English, your language is coming out. Go and kill those things. Work on yourself. Improve. Listen to other people. See how you can, as much as possible, pronounce rightly. There's nobody that don't have accent. The Americans have American accent. That thing they are speaking is American accent. It's not like they are better than you. That is like you speaking Yoruba. That thing is coming out. That when you are hearing is their accent. Not that they are. It's not as if they are speaking anything different from. But here we want to sound like them. Sound the way you sound, but pronounce rightly because not our language. That's all you need. Once you work on your craft, you will definitely meet up. There's nobody that is not good enough for what the person is doing. As far as God has given you that talent, and you identify it as a talent, and God does not expect you to use it in the crude form. He expects you to embellish it, to garnish it, to work on it, to prune it, and to make it, very, very receptive. So once you do that, you don't have any, and then be consistent. Because some people, when they release the first song today, 1 month later, they did
for like 2-3 years.
No, they did that now 1 month. The next thing they ask you, say, when will I blow? When will you not blow? When will you not blow? You keep at it. I remember Burna Boy was there for 10 straight years. Nobody knew him. It's been there for long, even though I don't like his song. But we've been there for long. You understand? So
the giant of Africa.
You will definitely blow. Even Jesus took a lot of time before he blew. It took 3 years. Yes, sir. He was doing carpentry job to go to the synagogue to challenge his Pharisees before he blew. So you have to go ahead.
So is it safe to say that someone can still succeed despite having self-doubt?
If you have it, you can't go anywhere. Because that will keep putting you down, keeping you down.
If you let it
pulling. If you have it, okay. There's this thing I used to say that.
If you have it, we all have it.
We all have it. Do you get it? But
there are others.
You don't know that you have a problem until you.
No, there are others that have it. Like, would I say it's become too much? That one is way past others.
And then they bring themselves down and think they can't do it. I think that is where life ends.
Some people should attribute something to village people.
Spiritual.
Even though village people are innocent, it might be devil. So
if you have it, you can't go anywhere, my brother.
No, but that question has been answered now. If you hone your craft very well, you would have addressed that issue up front.
You get it.
You understand?
If you have it, you are going nowhere.
You sometimes, some people,
you have to beat it.
Sometimes, you see, that is why things like this, like exposure to the media, you don't know what is happening to you here while you are still here. There's a lot of fears that are falling off. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of by training, by exposure, by so many things are falling off. You understand? The day the first day I appeared on TV, I don't think I spoke as well as I do today.
Okay.
The first time I was interviewed on TV. You understand? And I'm not sure. But I think there must be improvement. Otherwise, something will be wrong somewhere. Yes. So these things are like I use a baby to illustrate. You understand? It's step by step.
Yeah.
And you get better at it as long as you are serious and consistent. You see, that consistency is what a lot of people lack. You know, a lot of people cannot be consistent in doing what they are doing. They just believe that if they don't need 1, 2, 3 times, there's no money in it. The next thing someone think about where will you, how will you, what else can you do?
Make money.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so now a question I want to ask is, imagine you have an overcorrective boss or your parents are overcorrective. They pick on everything you do. Even if you are doing it right, they still feel like you can do it better. And they keep correcting and correcting and correcting, even your boss at work. You know, that can tamper your self-confidence, don't you think, you know?
Yeah, it can in so many ways. It can in so many ways. When I was like coming home, okay, I'm not there yet though.
But you're better than before.
Yeah,
So.
better than before. I'm still growing, fine. But when I was still small, I was a victim of self-doubt. Should I put it together with self-esteem?
I'm so scared you're about to say everything.
So I was a victim of that until I came across like a set of people that formed my circle. As at that time, we started working together and the energy was high.
Okay.
So they raised that hope. They raised my hope up that, yeah, you can do this. Not that they are perfect on their own, but it kept on going on. Like, if I'm down today, I will just tell them. They will tell me, okay, carry this thing. Let's okay. I started skit making in 2016, but I started officially in 2018. But after I started, sometimes I'll be like, oh no, I just opened my Instagram, whatever. Imagine posting and seeing no views. Waiting one song. All those things. And at the point, I kept doing it. And at the point, I was like, even some people did this industry, when they do it once, and they move. You get, not me now thinking of, will my post on, let's say, Instagram, for example, pass my followers?
That's brutal.
You get that fear and all. But at the point, thank God for having a very supportive boss as at that time.
Okay.
They keep telling me we are getting there.
Okay.
You get,
Imagine you had that self-doubt and then you now have an overcorrecting boss.
Like it is.
I would have killed the dream.
Thank God for exposure.
Okay.
It is another factor. Thank God for exposure. You go out to see people. One thing that keeps me going after I left that circle, I didn't leave that circle because I left for school. Okay. So when I go there, the circle I met, they were not helping things. But going out and exposing myself to say, sometimes I might be down and I'll be like, can I actually do this? I know I can do it, but the doubt sets in and I begin to doubt myself again. But once I go out, I see people, you see, the moment I come back home, I'm picking my pen again.
That doesn't have 2 words.
Yes.
Like you.
Like, now, man, I can achieve this. So this has been helping. It has been helping and self-affirmation. You cannot talk down on me. That's one belief I have. You cannot talk down on me. If I tell me, say, you're not even fine. Do this. Your music no sweet. See, I'll keep pushing up.
Okay.
That has been my number one rule for overcoming self-doubt.
Okay.
So right, how do you feel about an overcorrective boss? Can you cope?
Cool. I've never had one.
Imagine you had one that every time you say something, it's fights. You didn't do this well. Look at your hand. You didn't pronounce this well. You could have.
I've never had one in my life, so I don't know how. But do you think I can cope? I don't know if I'm going to. That kind of thing, I cannot learn on that. No. I can't learn in a very hostile environment. No, I wouldn't. Yes. I'll just do that thing he wants me to do. I will not learn. You don't get it. I don't want this problem. That is what I'll be doing. Like, I don't want this man to talk. I'll just do it. Like, okay, before he comes in, I've done this, I've done that. I'm not learning. I'm satisfying me.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Because I don't want him to come and start yelling and start shouting. So I'll just want to satisfy him and I'll not learn. And I just spent 10, 15 years satisfying myself and not learning anything. You get it?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I can learn under that kind of environment. The fact that I cannot talk back at him or look at him in the face and respond and all of those things. So I'll just want to like keep quiet and be like a very obedient apprentice or anything. So that kind of environment, I'm not sure I can stay. I can't last. I don't want to come and kill my dream for me. No, I can't.
Hey.
But then maybe later in the future, if I have one, when I get to that bridge,
You cross it.
But for now, I don't pray.
So,
I would mean,
what other ways can someone fight?
with the self
Affirmation.
Yes. Yesterday, he was asking me that. Why do you like looking at yourself in the mirror? Do you notice that too? Okay. So I told him that it is just a way of me like addressing
Reassure
myself.
yourself that I still a woman.
I'm a woman and I'm always thanking God like thank you Jesus, thank you Lord for taking your time to create and mold me.
So many things
So
I want
like,
to see. I'm
I
not going to say
said, wait, like nobody can tell me my hairs are too big. It's none of your business.
Yeah, that's too small.
I think that's small. I don't care. You don't get it. I've seen myself. I know myself. I know my work and everything. So there's nothing you can actually say that actually gets to me. Somebody was telling me that you hardly pick offense. Not that I don't pick offense, but when there are things that can actually like mold me up my life, I'll take it.
Okay.
You've said it. It's between you and I.
It's now for me to choose what I want to pick out of what you just said.
So I won't get angry. Tell me what I have to do.
How do you feel about having an accountability partner?
If it's going to help me grow, why not?
Would you be someone's accountability partner?
Of course I can. We will grow together, Abi. Yeah, so I can.
That is when it's not abused. Because a lot of
I know, yes.
a lot of people abuse it. When they say accountability partner, they will now start to, impute so many things into it. And that is not, that's not, what I mean is, they will start to, accountability is for you guys to check on each other and find out how far you are going career-wise.
Yeah, yes.
Career-wise, but some persons, they will now push it beyond that and start to monitor you.
Monitoring
Start to
spirit.
bully you.
Okay.
How dare you, especially in church. Especially in church, you say, I'm going to check up on you. Where are you? I say, I'm in a club. You know, I say,
You feel like a devil.
you feel like a devil, that kind of thing. So people abuse it a lot. That's why it's only people who understand it, the ones that should go into it. You understand? I was going to ask a question. When a father or parent have doubt about their children, how do you deal with it?
Parents have doubts about their
About
children.
the capability of their children. How do you deal with it?
That's deep.
Because
That is crazy deep.
if you've seen the movie,
I will come out also.
if you've seen the movie Gladiator, one of the problems that Marcus Aurelius had with Commodus, that was the first son, was that Marcus Aurelius had managed Rome for 14 years without war. Before him, no Caesar in the history of Rome had managed Rome for 14 years unbroken without war. Now, he wanted, the tradition is that he will hand over, because he was old already, he will hand over to his son. The son is Commodus. The son is not a moral man. Commodus had made attempts to have an affair with his own sister. Commodus have done so much. So he then wants his general to take over from him, which is not known to Rome. And then he approached the general and he told the general that He wants general to take over, and this is what the general refused. That he cannot do that. That you have a son. What about your son? He said, Commodus, my son, is not a moral man. Cannot hand over room to him. Not unknown to them, Commodus was
somewhere
at
he's
the
dropping.
door listening. So later he came in to meet the father and he was crying, telling the father that he may not be good at pulling the sword and approaching the enemy, and he may not be tactical with stamina and all that, but he could do music, he could do poetry. He has the gift of this, he has the gift of that, and the father was looking at him. This is not for Rome. You understand? You know what he told him? He said, your fault as a son is my failure as a father.
Imagine.
So the boy, I'm just talking about you stumbling into that kind of conversation as a child, knowing that your inheritance, your
Has been
parents or
given
your
you.
father is plotting how to hand it over to somebody else just because of your failings in life. So how do you handle such? It's difficult.
Therapy.
Because the doubt is just too much. That
Therapy street.
the
He
doubt
hasn't
is just
failed in
too
life.
much.
It was just his parent expectations.
That's too much for him.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
no.
no, but it's experience expectation. But you see, as a prince,
Okay.
the
Too much is
expectations are
expected
not
of
the
you.
same.
Mm.
The expectations are not the same. That you can't be telling the king that you can do poetry. You know what it is to be Caesar of Rome? You have to. There are certain things you have to do to be. If you have read Julius Caesar, you listen to Portia the wife and all the instructions of the wife and the response of Caesar. You see that this thing is pure military arrangement, nothing about weakness or poetry or songs. The reason David became king as a musician is because God picked him up. If you present that one to Israel, saying that this thing I get, you'll throw him out. You know the sword that was making was very good. He's a fighter.
I know.
It's not. They didn't come with poetry. They didn't come with poetry. So that is what it is.
So, self-affirmation, fighting to be better, because it's not going to be easy. Mastering your craft.
Visualization. You visualize yourself.
When you get there,
As,
accountability partner.
A positive one.
A good accountability partner. And those are some ways you can fight self-doubt. And this has been a wonderful episode. Thank you all for being on this beautiful and enlightening episode. And thank you too for watching. You can also drop your comments on how you think one could fight self-doubt. You can follow us also. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV 7 and follow us across all social media. Same handle, Enterprise TV 7. We'll be back. Bye for now.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.